All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So it's been a while, but I'm going to cover Fun, DWAC, and Rumble on this one, all right? And if you watch my last Fun video, the real big thing, DWAC, same comment, right? There was a whole mess of nothing expected from the last round of caucuses to the next one, right? Again, I don't really know the difference between a primary and a caucus, so I'm kind of calling them all a caucus because I think it's just a funner word to say, all right? But we have now passed all of these. The next one coming up is the 24th. Big numbers. 50 is, I believe, the biggest Republican delegate number so far, and this one is Haley's home state, or at least the state she was, I think, senator in or whatever, right? So the 24th is an anticipation day. I think we're in the lull between the last one and the upcoming one. And again, the same thing I said on the last lull, all right? Because that was essentially the lull in between the last ones. But I'm surprised the lack of volume is keeping us horizontal instead of down. And I joke, I don't like horizontal. I would much rather just keep my money in the bank and not get gray hairs or lose my hairs, you know what I mean? But horizontal is actually kind of okay in this case, I think, you know what I mean? So I'll give you more of my thoughts there. And then Rumble's got me a little bit, not concerned, but I thought it was going to do better. We're holding the 200 well. So again, nothing crazy, nothing concerning, right? But yeah, I was hoping the 8 would hold. I was hoping we would hit the 200 and bounce just a little bit quicker. I think I was hoping for just a little bit more there because, again, I felt like Rumble seemed to be doing better than Fun and DWAC because it could survive without the Trump stuff. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions on these, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's a bunch of them, so I think we need these, so I won't, but there are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself, and then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time is beyond appreciated, all right? So let's get into it. And again, let me close my door, actually. 1 second, excuse me. I left a Valentine's Day gift for my wife out there, and I don't know if she's gonna like make a noise or something. So let's get into this. And again, I started the video with it. I keep coming to this view, all right? To me, Fun and DWAC are all about the Republican primary, the Republican caucus, these important Republican moments. Because these are the moments where headlines will come. These are the moments where eyeballs will come. These are the moments where volume will come, all right? And, you know, what is happening right now is nothing. There is no real big Trump news. There's a couple like Supreme Court headlines I think I'm seeing. Again, to me, it's more about the presidential run, right? Like, yeah, his trial, it's some headlines here and there, but dude, if this guy becomes president again, come on. You know that the stocks are going to do something, right? Even if there's a remote maybe of it, right? And these videos have nothing to do with our opinion of Trump. These videos have nothing to do with if we like him, if we don't like him, if we're going to vote for him, if we're going to listen. None of that matters. What matters is the man's ability to bring headlines, to bring volume to these Trump-related stocks, and that's what we're hunting, all right? We went from over 1 billion shares traded down to less than 30 million. We went from destroying the 50-day average to we can barely touch it the last few days, right? So there is a lot changing on the volume. It's actually changing really badly and really dramatically. But man, price is holding steady. And look, honestly, to me, that almost doesn't make sense. I mean, you can say that the 200 moving average is doing a good job. You can say that the 20 is doing a good job. Like, the lines are holding. I see them, right? The purple one is literally holding it, right? to me, it's a little shocking that that's happening given how drastic this volume is gone down. I mean, honestly, like again, the simple fact was we were destroying the 50-day average, and as I zoomed in, you saw it, but we're barely touching it, let alone, anywhere near it, right? So I'm taking horizontal as positive, all right? Now, these three lines are very tight, and I always say once you get three or more, it's considered a cluster in my head, and you tend to go up and down on them. Again, kind of just emphasizing the horizontalness. So for me, my assumption essentially is, because where are we right now? We're on the 14th. We're in the middle of the absolute nothingness, right? And really, let's be honest, the whole next week is a whole lot of nothingness too, right? Maybe a week from now, the excitement will draw. Maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the headlines will draw for what is a Saturday event, right, on the 24th. The good thing actually is behind it, there's a whole mess of more Republican caucus, right? Like all within a bunch of days, right? So even coming down a Super Tuesday, I guess, is something like, look at all this, right? So there's a bunch happening in March. So hopefully that's a little bit easier to maintain like the momentum versus the like have a good one and then drop for 2 weeks, because that's actually what happened. And let me just scroll down all the way. That's nope, I'm not all the way. Damn, I should have clicked the thing. That was stupid. Look, we went from the 23rd to absolutely nothing until the 8th, right? Because there were a couple Democratic ones that I'm kind of ignoring, right? So, March looks like a better month. February has this lag. And again, I'm just kind of surprised it's holding. So let me look at the weekly really quickly. Yeah, nothing too much to take from the weekly. I know we've talked about that 50 a bunch of times on it. So again, I do not like horizontal trading, all right? At that point, you just put it in the bank. I think given how bad volume has been, it's a bullish thing here, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Otherwise, let's come into DWAC. And, DWAC is actually doing a little better. All right, you can argue that we've been pretty much hey, sorry, if you can please subscribe and share. Oh, it does wonders, all right? You can argue that we've basically been horizontal on this 44.50 line the last couple weeks, but what I like on DWAC that I didn't see in FUN was the ability to hold the 8 moving average just a little better. You can see here, I think FUN is holding the 200, whereas DWAC is actually holding that 8. Now it's kind of starting to slip, obviously, and get to the 20, right? So this is a stock that is over all 5 and running. That's really, really not where FUN is either, okay? And I'll be honest, I like this. I do, okay? A couple things. I always say the 8 and the 20 work as a team. All right. I have very often seen the 20 do nothing and it just kind of falls like below it, like a hot knife through butter, right? So I'm okay that we came down to it. I like today's candle. I know this looks like a small 5% nothing. We actually took back a little more than half of yesterday. You can even argue we kind of took back more than like 80% of yesterday. So I like today. It looks small, but it actually was a good candle. MACD and RSI are saying different things right now. MACD is diverging down. RSI is diverging up. I don't like that. I want them to tell me the same thing, right? So a little odd, but hey, I'll take a positive number. I'll take holding the moving averages. And then I think more than anything, it's the volume. It really is. Again, this thing has had the same bad volume story I just said on FUN. This thing's actually still been kind of going up since it's been having bad volume, right? Because you can argue the bad volume started here, which closed at 38 something. Lo and behold, we're in the mid 40s, right? Low 40s, whatever you want to call it. Not 38 at the minimum, right? So even though volume's been a little lackluster, it's still holding. Maybe we can say this has been the worst of the volume starting on the 6th of this month. And yeah, obviously we're below where we were on the 6th. So maybe that's something you can kind of say. But yeah, I like the 8 and the 20 being held well. Because again, what happens? You either can't get above the 2 lines, or all of a sudden you can't get below the 2 lines. And as long as we hold the 8 moving average, I'm gonna be bullish here, okay? I would say I would be real scared if this loses 38 bucks. I'm clicking on like 38.10, 38.8 roughly. I would be really scared of losing 38 because that might be a quick drop to 35, 34 something. From there, 34 could quickly become 30 or worse. All right, so stay over 41. That's our current 20 moving average. I'm willing to let this come down to like $38, give or take, before I would start screaming worry, worry, worry on DWAC. I do like DWAC a little more than fun. Again, over them all and fly is a lot better than sitting under or near the top, right? Like you want to be above all the moving averages and flying. That's what DWAC can do. Where are we on the weekly? Obviously, if we're over all of them on the daily, we're going to be over all on the weekly. This thing does not even have a 200 moving average on the weekly, right? You can see the weekly RSI got crazy high, got to a 94. So definitely could use a cool down. What's that line? 40. Yeah, hopefully we don't go below 40. What's that line? 38.17. Beautiful. I like my numbers. Don't go below 38 on DWAC and we're still okay. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Otherwise, let's come into Rumble. Rumble. Man, I'm a little disappointed to say the least, but I am still bullish on this, all right? So first, real quick, if you can please share this video, please subscribe to the video. My socials aren't that big. Most of you have real big socials, and if you just click share, it does wonders, all right? So Rumble, listen, a couple things I was saying about Rumble that I thought were different from Fun and DWAC, all right? This stock actually continued to go up during the nothingness of those first, so here, let's do this. From the 23rd to the 8th, there was no caucus, all right? From the 23rd to the 8th, this thing kept going up. Rumble didn't need Trump to keep going up, all right? We finally start to get near my favorite rhyme, which is break all five and fly, right? But man, this 811 resistance really was something. And again, I know I talked about this, but this is not a stock that's been around for a long time, all right? This is a stock that had insignificant volume literally for like this entire line right there too. So in my head, the stock actually begins in January of 22, December 21, whatever you want to call it, right? Like this is the first real moment of the stock, okay? This 811 line was part of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 significant moments in a stock that barely has many more than 9, right? Like I'm basically not counting these couple up here, right? So this 811 line, oh, that's a hard one to say. This 811 line is no joke. So to me, it actually does make sense that we're seeing this resistance. Again, I'm a greedy person, right? Like I liked what looked like an RSI that was ready to go up and a MACD that wanted, like I thought we could hit the 8 and reset or hit the 200 and reset, right? I still think that, I do, because again, we still haven't lost the key line. And as insignificant as today's candle looks, we took back the entire, yesterday closed down here. Yesterday actually even opens right here. Today closes higher than both. You can see it, right? I love that. I actually do. I know it looks like a doji. I know it looks like a small 3%. I'm glad this loss was recovered nicely today. I think it's important to flash the S&P 500 rebounding on the 20 moving average today. I think it's important to flash the Dow Jones having a decent day bouncing on the 20 moving average today, right? So you got to remember, you got to take your step backs, see what's going on, and then look at where your money is, right? But yeah, I think the fact that those survived their little test helped us survive this little test on the Rumble side. Just keep in mind, all right, we need to get over this 8 moving average. I think you need to maintain a little caution until you can get over $7.54 or higher. You can see the green line's at 53 right now. Until we're over, let's call it 755, I'm going to be a little cautious, okay? Because let's look at this 200 line. Let's look at this 200 line. it's been a nothing. We haven't even come anywhere near it since, when was this? Since June of 23, right? So it's not an easy line, and it actually is a line we can lose like hot butter. I'm glad we didn't today, but that's just a doji, right? So that don't count. We need another day to confirm, and really, like I said, we got to get back over that green line, all right? Where are we on the weekly? Ooh, look at that. Interesting. We try to get over the 50. So far, we can't confirm. Still a little early, I guess, but you know, we're kind of in the middle, right? 866 is a really important line on the weekly. Where's 866? Yeah, it's something. I don't think we need to draw that here. I don't. Cool. All right. I think this is good. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. You know I appreciate you so, so much.